Hi guys, and welcome back to part 2 on Let's Build an Amplifier using AliExpress parts. So on the first part we saw already that we build the power supply and we mount everything what need in the chassis, like also the speaker protection module and also the soft start. And in this part we're gonna build this L20 SE audio amplifier DIY module kit that it's easy to find them on AliExpress. And they come with all the parts that you need, with the PCB boards and the transistors, power transistor and everything. I already soldered this transistor because I matched the HVE with the other board, and these ones because I needed to mount the PCB board on the chassis on the bottom and the transistors on the heatsink, and then solder to the right position where they need to do. So I don't film this part, but I think you get the idea of what I mean. So, without further ado, let's start populate all the board and run some test, audio sound test, and then also oscilloscope test to see if it's doing exactly how the listing says. And usually before start soldering the parts on the PCB board, I like to have this component tester and test all the components before soldering, because as I say, sometimes happen that the component is defective, maybe it's not okay, and you solder it in, and when we test, when you go to test, the amplifier is not running and you are asking why. I did everything how should, why is not working? So that's why I suggest you first, if you are starting with the small resistor like how I do, usually I get the resistors and try to find them all together which are on the PCB. So for example, if I go here and I look for one resistor, because it's nice because it's marked on the PCB which value goes where. And for example, let's see, I'm gonna start with this capacitor there and with these diodes over here. So I have a capacitor which is 106. This mean is 10 microfarad, 106, yeah, because 105 is 1 microfarad, and we're gonna start from there. So 10 microfarad, which are not non-polarized capacitors, are these ones, definitely, because it say 10 microfarads on, and I don't have any other on the kit that is 10 microfarads, so definitely those are the ones that goes there, and there is two on the PCB board. One is going there and one is going here. And before putting this one, because it's quite big, I suggest you leave this one for the last, because you need to put first this transistor and this resistor, and then you go for that one. But I would like to start with this side over here to finish this part. So, as I say, I need one of these capacitor, and I need the two diodes, which are those two. And let me find the second one over here on the pile of components. Yes, it's here. And then I need also one of these one, because I have also one of these one that goes there for the output. And I'm gonna also go to this resistor 2.2k. So 2.2k, how many I need to mount inside? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 resistors. So I'm gonna check the 2.2k over here. So that's why I say use this one if you are not that much good with the colors, and this one is not the one that we need. So anyway, in the color should be like 2.2 is red, so you might look for all the resistors and you look for the one that have red. So look, this one has red. Let's have a look if it's 2.2k. So yeah, this is 2200 ohms, so it's the 2.2k, so we need to find all of them like that. So I find one, I find the second one, I find the third one, and let's dig more. I find then the fourth one, and I say we need 4 or 5. I think we need 5. Let's count again. So I need 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we need 4. So we find all 4. So let's start with that one. So we're done with few resistor and diodes and capacitor there, and they looks okay. And I want to mention something, because I'm gonna try to go from there mounting like that all the parts. And in particular, if you can notice there, I make a mark on that resistor for 4.7K. That is our bias resistor, so I'm gonna use a trim pot in 5K trim pot instead of the resistor. Like that I can bias on my own the transistors for better results on testing. So yeah, let's carry on with these big resistors over here, and then coming down with all the parts. So I solder also the big resistors over here, and you can see I leave a gap between the PCB board and the resistor because they tend to get warm, so better to protect the PCB to don't get burned by the resistor over there, so that's why we keep it raised. Next step it will gonna be to put all these small components over here, because then I'm gonna put the big transistors and these two capacitors. So I need to find this transistor over here, the 5551, 5401, 5401, 33K resistor, and two signal diodes. So let's get those ones. So the signal diodes are these ones, so 1 and 2. Then we need the, I say 5551, so this is 55551. 2 of 5401, right? 5401, two transistors, 5401, so this is same 5555. 5401 over here. I need another 5401 over there. And I say we need the 33K resistor. So let's find the 33K resistor. So 33 should be orange, so I believe is this one. So no, this is 330 ohms, so same, we are looking for orange on the resistors. So what, we have another 2.2K, so where is coming the 2.2K? Yeah, we miss a 2.2K over here, so let's figure out where I have another 2.2K on the board that I miss it. So 2.2, look over there. So let's put this 2.2K over there. And now let's find the 33K that I presume should be this one. Yeah, 33K. So, do we need anything else? Diodes, resistor, transistors are there. So, yeah, let's do that group now. Okay, so we solder also this group of components over there, the transistors and the diodes. So please pay attention to the transistor orientation, pin out, and also the polarity of the diodes, because if you might put it on reverse, they will not work. Next we're gonna do these power transistors over here, medium power transistor, these ones. And please don't solder the heatsink properly, attach it to the PCB, because then you can short some traces. So better keep it a bit raised. I'm gonna solder and I'm gonna show you at the end. And then also these two capacitors, which are one of these two. So yeah, let's get ready to solder also this one in. Here we go, we have the capacitors in and these two transistors in also. And I'm gonna carry on now to put all the parts, and if there is something to mention, I'm gonna pause the process and I'm gonna let you know what I might find that I need to let you know when you are assembling this kit. So let me start putting all the parts on this board. And here we go, our board is completed and all the parts are put on place, and you can see I installed also the trim pot, like that I can bias this amplifier on my own. And looks like everything was alright, no issues so far to install all the components. The components are not the cheapest ones, so are quite decent quality. So let me put this one in a heatsink and power on and see how it does. So before powering on this amplifier, I would like to show you a bit the listing and read a bit of description to understand how we need to bias and how many voltage we can apply. So here you say the power supply ranges between 15 plus 15 minus to 65 plus 65 minus. So we're gonna start first to power with the lower voltage to see how it's doing. Then it say which transformer is recommended to it. Here it says the THD 0.001%. It's really low THD. I hope that it will gonna be like that. Then here it says the quiescent current of the power tube is about 20 milliamps per tube. So we have 4 power transistors, so we're gonna be biased on 80 milliamps quiescent current. And then it says here the frequency range. Here it says quiescent current 0 milliamp. So it's quite strange, but we're gonna bias in 80 milliamps because it says 20 milliamps per tube. And we know that we can power between 15 plus minus to 65 plus minus. So let's go back to my working bench and power on this amplifier. Okay, so before connecting any speaker to it, I hook up my multimeter to see if there is any DC voltage on the output. I set up my power supply to dual 18, so 18 positive, 18 negative. Let me turn it on. So it's on and we can see there is only 0.004 volt on the output, which is acceptable. And looks like about quiescent current we are in 0. And let me set up the quiescent current to 80 milliamps. So turning this trim pot, it should adjust. So now we are in 80 milliamps in total from the positive to negative. I'm gonna also bias a bit more to make sure that it will gonna work better. So now is 1.6, so it's 16 milliamps drawing current, quiescent current. Nothing is getting warm, and it's safe to connect the speaker. So let me connect the speaker and let me inject a sound on it, and let's see how it sounds. I already connect this speaker. If it's burning out, I don't care. That's why it's a cheap one. I set up the microphone in the front of the speaker, so let's now play a sound and see how that sounds. So here we go, I set up already everything. So I have the dummy load 8 ohm connected to it, and I have the channel 2, it's connected to the input, and channel 1 is connected to the output. So let's turn on the function generator. So we have 1 kilohertz injecting, and now we are in 400 millivolts input. So let's increase until the clipping. So it's not clipping yet, but in the top is doing a really nasty wrinkle oscillation that is not good. So I'll consider that one as a distortion. So I'm gonna back down until I will not see that one over there. So let me go slowly here. So here we go. About there we don't have anymore that wrinkle on the top. So we are in about 22 volts RMS on the output. So if I do a quick math, let's see how many watts power we are getting over here. So we have 22 times 22 and divide by our load, which is 8 ohm. So we are having 60 watts RMS into 8 ohm, which is not how it says in the link on the AliExpress. It says 200 watts into 8 ohm, and I'm powering now with 47 plus 47 minus, because this is the power supply that we built in the previous part. So this is the power supply that might need to be with it. So only 60 watts we are getting on this amplifier. So let's do also a quick frequency response on this amplifier to see how that handle. So we're gonna set up our input sensitivity to 500 millivolts to don't stress the dummy load resistor, and then we're gonna turn it on from 20 hertz, and let's start see what will happen here. So in 20 hertz with 500 millivolts input, we have an output of 12.80 volts RMS, and if we are going to increase, we are in the same. We are in 100 hertz now. We are in the same voltage on the output. Let's go to 500 hertz. We are going a bit down on the power output because it was it's 12, the same 12.8. So we are in 12.8, also in 500 hertz. Let's go back to 1 kilohertz. In 1 kilohertz, let's do auto set. We are in the same range, actually a few millivolts, like 12.85, so it's going a bit up. Let's go to 5 kilohertz, auto set. 5 kilohertz, we are on 13 volts here, so looks like it's going a bit up the power on the high frequency, so it's not properly flat. Let's go now to 10 kilohertz, auto set. Here we are same in 13.15, so it's going more up. So let's go in 15 kilohertz right now. Auto set. So we are 13.19, something like that. So it's keep going up on the power on the high frequency. So let's go to 20 kilohertz. Auto set. 20 kilohertz we are going down now because we have only 13 volts RMS. 25 kilohertz, what is telling me? So 25 kilohertz again is bumping up, is 13.14, something like that. And let's see the 30 kilohertz what is doing. So 30 kilohertz we are in 13 volts. So yeah, on the high frequency is boosting up a bit of power. And let's try also on 10 hertz, just a quick look what is doing in 10 hertz. So in 10 hertz we have same 12.88. So yeah, it's quite good in the frequency response. Okay, so this is the L20 SE audio amplifier DIY kit, which you can find on AliExpress. 60 watts clean into 8 ohm. You can do it easily only with the 2 power transistors, no need 4. About the frequency response, it's a bit amplifying the high frequencies, so it's not properly a flat one. And I don't know what to say. I don't think so it's gonna be a winner for the chassis, because we still have a next part to build this one, the AccuPhase E405 amplifier. So I already mounted the power transistors over here, and the components around it, because you need to solder them first, because I mount it on the heatsink to solder right in the right place where it needs to be mounted on the heatsink. So that's why we have lots of components more to solder on this one. So that's why stay tuned, please subscribe, activate the notification bell to don't miss the next part when I'm gonna build this one. We're gonna do the same process. Have a listen to the speaker to see how it sounds, and then also do power test and frequency response to see how it do this one. And if you enjoyed this video about the L20 SE, please give me a thumb up, like this video, share it with your friends, and please leave your comments down below, your thoughts about this amplifier, if it's a good one. Cost about £24 a pair, so a stereo version. And yeah, until the next video guys, have a good day and bye bye.